Patuloy na nagbibigay serbisyo, pag-asa at saya. GMA Regional TV, kapuso ng bawat Pilipino. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
Good afternoon. This is your GMA Regional TV Weekend News. The biggest, the latest as local news matters. Jasmine Gabriel Galban.
I am CJ Torida.
John Punsoy, broadcasting live from the GMA complex in Dagupan City.
Would like to welcome our Kapuso viewers from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, as well as our kababayans all over the world, watching us through GMA Pinoy TV and GMA News TV International. This afternoon, we will be joined by GMA RTV Dagupan Balitang Amyanan correspondent, King Guevara.
Luan May Rundina of RTV Cebu Balitang Bisdak.
And John D. Esteban of GMA RTV Davao 1 Mindanao.
Joan and Jasmine, partners, we have a full lineup today as we will also be joined by our RTV counterparts from other regions. We will be joined by Rain Palino of GMA RTV Bicol and Zen Kilantang of GMA RTV Iloilo, 1 Western Visayas. For the headlines. Death toll due to coronavirus disease 2019 now at 6. Curfew to be imposed in Metro Manila amid COVID-2019 outbreak. President Rodrigo Duterte, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio, and Senator Bongo tested negative for COVID-19. Several government officials under self-quarantine. Davao City not on lockdown. Residents prohibited from leaving the city. 23 individuals who shared COVID-19 patients' photos face wraps. Prices of onions down due to oversupply in Pangasinan. Metropolitan Manila Development Authority General Manager Jose Arturo Garcia Jr. announced that a curfew will be imposed in Metro Manila from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. starting March 15, that's gonna be tomorrow, to April 14. This was decided at an emergency meeting on the implementation of community quarantine. All of the mayors in Metro Manila agreed to issue the resolution as part of community quarantine measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. Workers will be exempted, but they should always bring proof of employment. 62-year-old male, first COVID-19 positive case in Negros Oriental. John D. Esteban for the details, live. John D.
Yes, CJ, the Department of Health announced this morning the death of the first COVID-19 positive case in Mindanao. While COVID-19 cases in the Philippines is now at 64, with Visayas and Mindanao having recorded their first positive case each.
2 days after the Department of Health announced the first COVID-19 positive case in Mindanao, tagged as Patient 40, the 54-year-old male from Cagayan de Oro City died last night due to acute respiratory distress syndrome. Patient 40, who had no travel history abroad, was confined at Northern Mindanao Medical Center. He manifested flu-like symptoms on February 24 and was first admitted at a hospital in Iligan City on March 3 and was transferred to NMMC in Cagayan de Oro City for testing. He was confirmed COVID-19 positive on Wednesday.
Wala. Po na tayo contact tracing kasi the relatives visited sa hospital. So manatong ginahimo.
In Negros Oriental, a 62-year-old man also tested positive for COVID-19 on March 11. Known as Patient 39, he is the first recorded case in Central Visayas. The provincial health officer said that Patient 39 is confined in a private hospital in Dumaguete City and is in critical condition. The patient came from a convention in Pasay City and returned to Dumaguete on March 1st. Contact tracing for people who had close contact with patient 39 is being done.
Ang pasyente natin ngayon is in critical condition, but he is attended to a very capable consultants in a capable hospital too.
In Cebu, PhilHealth has prepared an assistance package for those experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. In its isolation package, a patient may receive at least 14,000 pesos. PhilHealth reminded all 57 hospitals in Region 7 that sanctions will be imposed if the facility will turn down suspected COVID-19 patients. Meanwhile, the medical staff of Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center is completing its training and is expecting 500 COVID-19 testing kits from Manila to arrive soon. Central Visayas has recorded 53 PUIs and 125 PUMs to date. In Baguio City, since the city is now considered a COVID-19 testing site, all tertiary hospitals have set up triage areas. Patients and visitors will go through a single entrance and exit to control the flow. The LTFRB also released its memorandum circular with a provision to list names of each bus passenger, including their local travel histories. Baguio City still has no reported positive COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, as of last night, 12 new cases were added to the number of COVID-positive cases in the country, bringing the total to 64.
CJ, the Department of Health confirmed this afternoon 2 additional deaths from COVID-19, bringing the death toll to 8. In a statement, DOH said the 2 new COVID-19 deaths were on top of the one announced earlier. DOH will provide further details as soon as it is available. Meanwhile, from 64 cases, the country's total number of cases has increased to 98, including the 8 deaths. CJ.
Thank you, John D. Esteban.
President Rodrigo Duterte, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio, and Senator Bongo cleared of COVID-19, while several government officials under self-quarantine over COVID-19 scare. More in this report.
Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio has ended her voluntary isolation after being cleared by the City Health Office of Davao. Carpio went into self-quarantine after meeting with Senator Sherwin Gatchalian at the Senate following a hearing where one of the resource persons reportedly tested positive for COVID-19. Meanwhile, a household helper of the mayor who was reported to be sick has been diagnosed with tonsillitis. The local chief executive also clarifies that Davao City is not on lockdown, but all Davao residents are prohibited from going out of Davao City. Top government and local officials, including several lawmakers and cabinet secretaries, are also undergoing self-quarantine after a resource person who attended a recent Senate committee hearing tested positive for coronavirus disease 2019. In the Senate, a resource person who attended the hearing of the Senate committee on March 5 tested positive for COVID-19. This prompted Senators Sherwin Gatchalian and Nancy Binay to undergo a 14-day quarantine. Senate premises also closed down for disinfection. Several cabinet members also said they will go on self-quarantine. Meanwhile, after President Rodrigo Duterte underwent testing for COVID-19 at Malacanang's Bahay Pagbabago Thursday afternoon, he was tested negative along with his top aide Senator Bongo, who also underwent the same. Lingayen Mayor Leopoldo Batawil tested negative for coronavirus after coming in contact with Filipino-Australian woman in Pangasinan that later tested positive for coronavirus disease or COVID-19 after returning to Australia on March 3. Mayor Batawil said that the woman attended a high school reunion in Pangasinan. The mayor was a guest at the event. Although he did not exhibit flu-like symptoms within the 14-day incubation period, he volunteered for testing at the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine. In CAPAS, TARLAC, a total of 442 repatriates were sent home Wednesday after completing the mandatory 14-day quarantine in New Clark City in Tarlac. According to the Department of Health, 437 are crew members while 5 others are passengers of the MV Diamond Princess cruise ship. 2 others who are crew members have been referred to the Jose B. Lingad Memorial Regional Hospital in Pampanga after testing positive for the COVID-19. They are tagged as patients 25 and 26 in the health department's tally of COVID-19 cases. The close contacts of the 2 will also undergo additional 14-day home quarantine and will be continuously monitored by their respective local health offices. I am Jasmine Gabriel Galban for GMA Regional TV. The Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office of Lanao del Sur set up an assistance desk center at Dalagindingan International Airport. Members manning the desk will document arriving passengers. They will be requested to fill out form to indicate their point of origin as well as their succeeding destinations in Mindanao. Meanwhile, the Iligan Medical Society is asking individuals arriving in Iligan City to do home quarantine for 2 weeks. They are also advised to refrain from going out of their houses and to observe cough etiquette, hand washing, and social distancing. COVID-19 implications to business, tourism, and church in different parts of the country. More details in Luan May Rondina's live report. Luan?
Jasmine, with the continuing climb of the COVID-19 cases in the Philippines, its economic impact is slowly felt in different parts of the country, as well as the religious activities this Lenten season. In Cebu, 2 companies have temporarily closed shops. According to the spokesperson of the Department of Labor and Employment 7, 64 employees of a restaurant and a manpower services will be affected.
Sa higayon nga ni medyo nilapas na gid murag dili na ba reasonable ang pagpahigayon sa maong temporary closure. For example, nawagtang na maluoy lang ang Ginoo, nawagtang na gyud ning outbreak sa COVID-19 nga nagpadayon pagihapon, and that is something else. So among i-encourage ang mga workers to report to our office.
3,566 employees from 36 companies are now affected by the rotation work schedule to tie the effects of the COVID-19. What worries the Department of Labor is the eventual closure of companies if the situation worsens.
Starting next week, ang DOLE Regional Office o iyang mga field offices will be implementing a compressed work week. We will be working from Monday to Thursday, 10 hours per day, and Friday will be our off.
So 4 days?
Yes, 4 days in a week.
As safeguard, DOLE employees have adopted the 4-day working week where employees will render 10 hours per day. DOLE encourages other companies to do the same. Cebu's known for food stalls, Larson has also felt the COVID-19 effect. Owners and vendors are complaining of poor sales due to a lesser number of patrons who visits the place near the famous Fuente Rotonda Circle.
Instead of 13 mi kabuok, diri ma'am 13 to 24 hours man mi, 6 na lang jud mi kabuok kay wala na fire out ng uban kay wala din na jud kaya sa sweldohan.
Nimingaw jud siya, nimingaw jud niya. Ikabuntag instead of 5,000, maglisod na mig 1,000, maglisod na mig 2,000.
The situation is different inside one of the malls in Talisay City, Cebu. GMA Regional TV Balitang Misda witnessed how shoppers fought for supply of alcohol. The scene looks like a war zone. After observing purchase of several bottles of alcohol per customer, the supermarket management imposed a 2-bottle per customer policy. The same thing was observed in Davao City. Mindanaoan went on panic buying for alcohol and other supplies after the surge of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country. And one of these buyers was Ofelia Ariza,
who bought many alcohol bottles in a supermarket in Davao City.
Meron akong pamangkin na magpa-fly going to their place, papadala ko. I don't know din kung matanggap ito sa airport, pero pwede masiguro pag naka-check-in.
In El Salvador City, supply for alcohol is running out in most pharmacies. And in view of the nearing Holy Week celebration, the Archdiocese of Cebu said church activities would still continue, but
we're used to kissing the cross, no? Sa karon, kung pwede na lang unta, no? In a way, deep in our hearts, we appreciate what Jesus did, no? Yun lang pag-kiss kay tinood man gyud, if those who may have kissed the cross, no? Maybe carriers, following that, no, would parang unwittingly make us also carriers.
Jasmine, just this afternoon, Cebu City Mayor Edgardo Labella has ordered for the strict implementation of the curfew policy in the city starting tonight. Minors are not allowed to loiter outside their homes starting 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Jasmine?
Thank you, Luan May Rondina.
Barangay Kagawad in Cebu City arrested after punching a cop. Zen Kilandang has more.
A barangay councilor from Bohol was placed behind bars after punching a responding policeman. Councilor Clavier Joseph Duhig from Poblacion 1, Tagbilaran City, Bohol was in Cebu to attend the councilors' congress. After the event, Duhig had too much to drink and got heavily intoxicated, prompting hotel staff to call for police assistance. Councilor Duhig, however, ended up punching a responding policeman from Abellana Police Station.
Ay pasaylo ang suspect. Kita kinsara man sad nga dili makapasaylo considering nga pareha ta og trabaho. Pero tagaan ja po nato siya leksyon.
The remorseful councilor apologized to the policeman and to his Bohol constituents.
May namdaman ako, napusasan ako.
Napusasan na ka? Pero wag kang inumdum nga imong isumbang
Wala dyan sir.
si police officer?
Wala dyan sir.
Isunggo ko no siya?
Wala dyan ko kibaw sir. Sorry kayo.
A member of the Philippine Army's 3rd Infantry Division detailed in Antique was shot dead at a KTV bar in Barangay Caritan, Patnongon. According to bar caretaker, Private First Class Melchor de la Rosa, 31, of Himamaylan City, Negros Occidental was intoxicated and was showing off his firearm to other customers. This prompted the caretaker to call the police.
Nakita ko pagbukas na yakang sling bag na may
Armas.
Armas.
The responding police team arrived and tried to talk to De La Rosa, but the soldier allegedly drew his firearm and pointed it at the policemen. The soldier's act prompted Police Staff Sergeant Ronald Marcalinas to grapple him and shot him in the head.
Nagtaya ta na kang armas sa mga kapulisan pagka-responde nila.
Marcalinas was put under restriction while investigation is ongoing. Police Regional Office 6 said the operation was legitimate, but they will still look at the matter for further investigation. Together with cameraman Romel Porquia, Zen Kilantang for GMA Regional TV.
13-year-old girl in Santa Barbara, Pangasinan attacked by fellow students. Russell Simorio files this report.
In Santa Barbara, Pangasinan, the Bayas National High School launched an investigation after amateur videos of a student being bullied went viral. These videos showed a 13-year-old student, Jane, not her real name, being beaten up at the back of the campus. The victim sustained wounds on different parts of her body.
Yung babae po nagsiselos nga po sa akin kasi po yung alam niya yung ex niya po may gusto sa akin. Tapos nung nalaman po nun kinabukasan, sabi niya po mag-uusap lang daw po kami sa school.
Gusto kong mangyari sa kanila yung ma-kick out sila sa school para magtanda. Parang wala naman silang natututunan.
According to Jane, 9 students from different schools were responsible for the incident. 3 of the alleged attackers were identified as schoolmates of the victim. The school is ready to impose penalties or even dismissal in cases of grave misconduct.
Sanction siya, kaya lang depende sa usapan, depende sa gravity ng insidente.
According to the Municipal Social Welfare and Development Office, Jane will undergo counseling.
Counseling din sa parents and then school visitation. Nag-school visitation kami pag ganyan ng mga cases of bullying.
Together with cameraman Wilson C., I am Russell Simorio for GMA Regional TV.
This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
No lockdown in Davao City. Residents are prohibited from leaving the city. Sara Hilomen Velasco has more.
Medyo lisod na siya, labi na nga doon na yung mga kaubalan po ng mga trabahante. Kinanglan mo mabangon, aron mabuhi. Mga nabuhi.
Okay lang man po kay basta for the safety of everyone.
So wala gyud tay lockdown diri sa syudad sa Davao. Nobody will sa mga checkpoints nato, sa mga entry points nato o exit points nato, nobody will prevent you from leaving. Nobody will bar you from entering.
The situation at all checkpoints going in and out of Davao City remains normal. Under guidelines number 8, residents of Davao City are prohibited from going beyond city limits, minimizing the chances of contracting COVID-19 in other areas. Under guidelines number 7, issued early this week, people are discouraged to attend mass gatherings such as in malls, church masses, and alike.
Ang pinakaunaan na is mass gatherings, ang ikaduhaan na is travel. Makakuha yun ka o sakit kung doon na infected dito sa laing lugar.
Davao City is implementing strict measures to prevent exposing its people to COVID-19. The city may not be able to handle large numbers of infected patients.
Katong timbak ko, severe cases, limitado gyud ang ato ang healthcare facilities.
Police are tasked to ensure that guidelines on mass gathering are implemented, including cockfights in arenas.
Sabungan, atuan na silang ipasirado until after malift ang state of public health emergency, and then nagapa-assist pod mi sa ilaha kung dunay mga gahi og ulol.
Meanwhile, General Santos City is now implementing restrictions of non-essential travels in and out of the city. A curfew from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. will also be implemented. The police and military will man checkpoints and patrol the city. A few hours after the president's announcement, Bohol Governor Arthur Yap issued a similar directive. For 5 days starting March 16, tourists and locals from other parts of the country are barred from entering Bohol.
To help us organize into work teams, we need time to meet and divide ourselves among the mayors, local officials, national and local agencies, the civic, business and religious organizations. For that to happen, I've declaring a community quarantine of the island of Bohol.
The governor explained that the province will still receive dry goods, but these should be disinfected. While people will be prevented from entering the province, those who want to leave are free to do so.
That's why this is not a lockdown. A lockdown means nobody comes in, nobody goes out.
Yap's directive is seen to further affect the declining tourism industry, but some stakeholders understand the measures being taken.
This kind of infection is quite very dangerous, and for me, it only affects our economy. Here in Bohol, affected already, and I hope that it would not last long.
At the end of the week-long community quarantine, Bohol officials will assess whether or not to extend it. I am Sara Hilomen Velasco for GMA Regional TV.
Mayon Skyline Hotel in Albay eyed as quarantine area for COVID-19 patients. Let's have more with Rain Palino's live report. Rain?
Joan, local authorities or local government across the country are implementing various precautionary measures against COVID-19. In Naga City, failure of PUMs to observe self-quarantine will be charged for violating Republic Act 11332 or the law on mandatory reporting of communicable diseases with a possible jail time of 1 to 6 months. Last Wednesday, the provincial government of Albay proposed Mayon Skyline Hotel as a quarantine area for locals that might test positive with the coronavirus disease 2019. Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office Chief Dr. Cedric Daep clarified that the proposal is not yet official and final. Several factors have yet to be considered in making the Mayon Skyline Hotel as a quarantine area. Dr. Daep says that the Mayon Skyline Hotel with its 18 rooms has a single entrance, making it easier to monitor people entering and exiting the building. Its remote location is also a factor, minimizing community exposure.
Mami-minimize namin ang quarantine. Dahil kung wala ka naman symptom at pagdating doon sa mandatory home quarantine, bakit dadalhin mo pa sa PUI?
He added that they focus more on the preventive measures rather than the control. Located at Barangay Buwang, Tabaco City, Mayon Skyline Hotel and Convention Center was used for various provincial events. After the devastation of several typhoons and numerous renovation, the establishment was no longer utilized. With the proposal of making Mayon Skyline as a quarantine area, several vendors and tourists gave their reactions.
Dahil kami makisuway madam sa misa diri kang government na ni madam. Ta kami sa kadit mo sana kaming tawo.
Kasi malapit lang kami dito sa paglalagyan ng ganyang klaseng mga may sakit. Yung hanap buhay namin, mawawala na.
Walang magagawa kasi decision ng government. Pero para sa akin, mas maganda sana kung isang location lang ang quarantine area.
Joan, presently, Bicol Region remains COVID-19 free. Earlier this morning, the Archdiocese of Cáceres suspended all public masses starting this afternoon until morning of March 20. Authorities also advised those who traveled through Metro Manila to report to authorities and observe self-quarantine, or else they will be charged for the violation of the mandatory not reporting of notifiable diseases and public health events of Public Health Concern Act. Joan.
Thank you, Rain Palino.
Prices of onions in Pangasinan down due to oversupply. King Guevara has the details live.
CJ, despite of the suspension of onion importation in Pangasinan, the authority will look into the availability and oversupply of imported onion in the province. In Urdaneta City, Pangasinan, the prices of onion have gone down due to excessive supply and low demand. These, together with unfavorable weather conditions, have caused tons of onions to rot at the Pangasinan Agri-Pinoy Trading Center storage facility. Some farmers have been forced to sell their products at low prices in order to get back their capital.
Tinitignan po namin yung mga reject, tinatanggal po namin.
Some traders say imported onions in the market is the reason why there is a low demand for locally grown onions. Traders fear that the excessive supply of imported onion will further cut farm gate prices and leave them with no profit.
Hindi po dapat pinapasok yung mga imported para mabili po yung mga sarili nating sibuyas.
Engineer Rosendo So, chairman of Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura or SINAG, said the Department of Agriculture has temporarily suspended the importation of onion during harvest season of local onion.
Kasi yun ang usapan with the farmers nung nag-meet kami ng January. Nagkaroon ng meeting with Secretary. Ang usapan, kung magha-harvest na yung mga magsasaka, wala nang importation.
Ang maganda, sir, pag walang importe, tatas ang kalakal dito, sir. Walang competition, sir.
In Bongabon, Nueva Ecija, the prices of onions has risen to 38 pesos per kilo, a result of the local government's request to the Department of Agriculture to stop the import of onions. CJ, according to the Department of Agriculture, the suspension of onion importation in Pangasinan will be until October this year, while SINAG assures that the supply of onion for the coming month is still sufficient. Back to you, CJ.
Thank you, King Guevara.
This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
Iloilo City Mayor ordered thorough investigation on series of alleged abduction involving policemen. Here's Zen Kilantang for the live report. Zen?
Jasmine, the Iloilo City Police Office continues its probe on the alleged abduction cases of suspects before the operation. In the cell phone video taken by a concerned citizen, a man is being forced by 3 men to board a white AUV in Iloilo City proper. Hours later, a suspected drug peddler was arrested in a buy-bust operation in Arevalo, Iloilo City by the operatives of the Regional Drug Enforcement Unit. The subject was identified as Anthony William Landicho of Nueva Valencia, Guimaras. Landicho's relatives claimed that the man who was seen on the viral video is Landicho himself, although they did not file a formal complaint. According to Landicho, he was surprised during the boy bust operation where allegedly 3,000 pesos in marked money and 2 sachets of suspected shabu was recovered from him.
Nakuhaan sa video, kita man to ang tuyo pasakay sa salakyan.
Wala ko sa video.
According to the Iloilo City Police Office, they have received information that the registered owner of the vehicle used in the alleged abduction is a member of the Iloilo City Police Office.
Gina-establish pasubong kung ano ang participation niya dito. Kag kun upod gid man siya dito.
Days after incident, residents of Barangay Progreso, Lapuz saw 4 men forcibly taking a 65-year-old resident. The Iloilo City Police Office clarified that the alleged abduction was actually a legitimate police operation to arrest an illegal gambling subject identified as Ramon Salarda. But the ICPO also admitted that they lacked coordination with the barangay, which is why residents thought it was an abduction.
We will do the proper explanation. I believe kinahanglan lang gid nga mapaatag ag maklaro ni kung ang natabo dito sa Progreso, Lapuz.
Another boy bust subject was allegedly abducted in Mandurriao, Iloilo City before the actual operation was conducted. Iloilo Mayor met with ICPO Director Colonel Eric Dampal and ordered an in-depth investigation in the alleged abduction cases.
Pangitaon gid kung sino-to ang nag-perpetrators. At the same time, kinahanglan magwa gid tanan. Waay sang salakyan sang pulis nga ara sa sulod sang police station. No, I want all the police cars, the motorcycles to be out of the police stations, especially during peak hours.
The National Police Commission Region 6 said that if proven that operatives are involved in the alleged abduction, they will face administrative and criminal cases.
When it pertains to the performance of duty, nga hindi gusto, ti matuon na sa serious irregularity in the performance of duty. There can be no by bust kung ginsakay mo yung tao pilit, meaning ginabdak mo siya eh.
Jasmine, the Iloilo City Council also asked the authorities to follow the right process in arresting suspects of the illegal activities. Jasmine.
Thank you, Zen Kilantang.
So, and Jasmine, partners, na the death toll of COVID-19 climbed to 8 already. And let us all pray and be hopeful that this too shall pass.
Yes, partner, that's right. And of course, let us obey the policies, protocols, and guidelines implemented by our government.
And as we follow the precautionary measures, it is proper, as per advice by health authorities, to always stay calm and avoid spreading fake or misleading information about COVID-19.
Yes.
You can watch this episode and more on GMA Regional TV's official YouTube channel. Just click the subscribe button to get the hottest news from the regions. That was the biggest and the latest from the regions.
Thank you for joining us, and from all of us here in North Central Luzon.
This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News, where local news matters.